Hello and welcome to Rainy's Food Diaries. I'm Rainy. Today we'll be making a lamb Sindhi biryani. This is the Shan Sindhi biryani spice. It's available at most Indian grocers. Actually, it's very popular worldwide, so you will definitely find this. I generally make a different style of biryani. That's what I grew up with, so this is a nice alternate. Growing up, I did eat this style of biryani through my auntie Krishni. Wonderful eats and just like good home food from her. And so this is my take on Sindhi biryani. So now we're going to go through the ingredients. This is the box. It's green, so it's, if you find the Shan box range, the green one is the Sindhi biryani. You could use meat or chicken. So interesting enough, the biryani I grew up with always had lentils in it, but this biryani and most of the biryani around like Persia and most of in this region all use a sort of spicy biryani without lentils. So here I've got some finely chopped onions. I've got some potato. This is my plate for later on at like sort of almost a third phase of the biryani. So I've got tomatoes, mint and dhania, and I've got meat. So the recipe asks for 1 kilo, but I've just got a little bit less than that. I've cut it really small. It's just for me and my husband. So I didn't really want to make a large amount of biryani that's going to take us days and days. So here I've got basmati rice. I'm going to soak them now. So I'm going to use 1.5 cups of basmati rice. And this, I've just got some dehydrated onions. I love this to add just for some extra flavor. I mean, the one thing about this style of cooking is that fried onions is a thing. I mean, most of the recipes online, you'll see that a lot of the cooks fry onion, like a lot of onion in the beginning, take some out and then add in later on in the biryani. And then, of course, trust your ginger and garlic. So this is basically the ingredients, not a lot. And obviously, I'll be using oil and salt and sort of the basic kitchen stuff. But as I'm going through it in the recipe, I will go into more detail. So yeah, this is the ingredients. I'm starting off with the braise here. As you can see on the side, I've just soaked the rice. So we just want to soak it. This is boiling water in here. I'm going to soak it until I'm ready to add that in. So once this pan is like nice and hot, it's still not there yet. Let's put it on high first and then just get it nice and hot. I'm going to add my oil. So you just want a good amount of oil. I always feel like when it comes to oil, don't be afraid to add a little extra. You can always take out, but sometimes if your spice doesn't get enough oil, your food doesn't end up tasting very good. So it's not a lot, but it's enough to coat the pan. Yeah, so okay, it's still not hot enough, so we're going to just wait a little while. You can see the color change a little bit, and then I'm going to add the onions. I always add, this is 2 onions by the way, 2 medium onions. I always add a little bit extra when it comes to biryani. I like the taste of onions. If you don't like the taste of onions, you can always add less, but 2 onions is where you what I did over here, 2 medium. So we're going to get this nice and hot. If it's not getting too hot, I'm just going to put the lid on. Okay, that's on the highest. So I've just added some oil, about say 3 tablespoons of oil, 4 actually. If there's any extra oil, you can always take it out because we are going to layer this in any case, so you can remove out the excess oil. So in here I've got 2 medium onions. They've already started to cook. I want to get them nice and brown. I've soaked my rice, so that's 1.5 cups of basmati rice in boiling water. When I'm ready to boil it later on, I'll put it just when we about to layer. Because basmati rice cooks so fast, you really don't want to add it or start boiling it too quickly, because it will sit and cook as you are waiting. So right now I'm just frying up my onions and waiting it to go off. So yeah, I'm just gonna, while this is happening, I'm gonna look at the back of the box. So from the box it says fry onions in hot oil, add your meat and ginger paste. I'm just going to skim through this because you don't really want me to be lecturing over here. So add your Shan Sindhi breyani mix with your potatoes, and I think I'm going to add my potatoes a little bit later. And then add water. The water all depends on what type of meat you're cooking. If you're cooking chicken, you're going to add less. If you're cooking lamb, you're going to add a little bit less. But if you're adding like beef or mutton, then you're going to be adding more. Ideally, all you want is the meat to be soft enough, but not to the point where it's breaking, because you are going to layer it and cook it for a little bit longer with the rice. Then add your sliced tomatoes and yes, it just has like a cooking method. So I'm gonna follow it in like some detail, but then also do my own thing along the way. But I want you to be okay with trying out different things here. So just follow the method and see whatever works for you. Like I'm going to be adding the dry onions just now to my fresh onions. So yeah, it all depends on how you feel best suits you, and also if you have the ingredients. So I've just added some curry leaf because I like the smell of curry leaf frying with the onions. I'm waiting for it to get nice and brown. And while that is happening, I'm going to add some of these dehydrated onion. See? Dehydrated onion. Just going to add like 2 tablespoons. Let's see. Even more. But I think 2 tablespoons sounds right. Yeah, that sounds good enough. It smells really nice. Like it's something that it's not too expensive. It's really nice to have in your spice cupboard. It adds a different flavor to it. It's not the same as frying your own onions, so it's not a substitution. But what it does is gives you a nice extra sweet flavor. The closest flavor I can tell you it comes out like is like brown onion soup, but less of a soup vibe and more of a crispy vibe. So here's my onion. Oh yeah, I'm starting to smell it now. Yeah, so I'm gonna add my meat just now. It smells good already. So my onions are translucent. You can wait for it to get golden brown, but if you do it now, it's not a big deal. Because I added the dehydrated onions, you'll still get the same flavor as like frying up the onions. So if you don't have this, I would suggest that you wait until it gets brown. But if you do have some dehydrated onions, go with that. So I'm just adding the meat now. You can see I've cut it up into nice small pieces. And I'm going to spread it around the pot so it all gets nice and sealed. If you can get it down to the bottom and the onions on the top, that's even better. Let's do that. So this is a mixture of different cuts. There's some bones. I like bones in my biryani. I like to sit with them after I'm like finished eating. So if you want to go for leg pieces, you can go for that. If you want to go for more bony pieces, you can also do that. But whatever you have, like I say, you can also use beef or chicken for this recipe. What I like about it is that the box is so versatile that you can use it for so many different types of meat and still get almost the same result. So we're just going to wait for this to get nice and seared and turn it over. When it starts changing color, I can see it start changing color a little bit on that side. Let it get nice and brown. And then we'll turn it over. Let's see this piece here. Just a little bit longer. So now that I can see a little bit of browning on the other side, I'm just going to turn everything over. Oh, that smells great. It smells so good. It's amazing what the dehydrated onion adds to the smell of your cooking. I can smell the curry leaf. So yeah, I'm at the point now where I just turned the meat. I'm going to add the spice. So because we have less meat and less biryani for the less rice for the biryani, I'm not going to add chilies. I'm just going to add the whole packet. So the recipe does ask for chili. So if you're going to use what they have asked for, this is what the packet looks like. If you're going to use what they asked for, I would suggest to add chilies, but because we are going for a smaller quantity, I'm not going to add the chilies. So surprisingly enough, if you eat this, one of the biggest sort of things that I absolutely loved, especially when I went to my auntie's house and we were like all together, it was who got the apricots, because there's dried apricots in here. So I'm just going to add the whole packet here, and I'm so excited because I can see so many apricot pieces in this, and I love it. It gives such a different taste to the biryani. It almost is like a tartness to it. So I'm gonna just toss everything now and just let the spice cook a bit. While that's happening, I'm gonna add my ginger and garlic. So I have 2 types of ginger and garlic. I've got the crushed ones. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that. I mean, fresh is always better, but if you don't have time to use your pestle and mortar or your grinding machine, go with the store-bought variety. And I've got the paste, so I'm going to go with about 1.5. This is lamb, so it has a gamey taste, so you just add a little bit extra. And like I said, you do what you have in your cupboard. You don't have to be exactly like what the package says. Ultimately, it's just a guide. Oh, that smells so good. It looks good as well. It doesn't look as spicy as if you add like masala or chili powder into this, but it's pretty spicy, so beware. So if it starts looking like, oh, this is not hot enough, just be careful, because you never know. Afterwards you'll regret adding extra chilies. I would suggest you add your chilies towards the end if you're still feeling that it's not hot enough, but really this is spicy enough. It's a different type of spice. It's more of a peppery, less of a chili spice. So yeah, we'll just wait and then I'm going to add the yogurt. Also, another tip, don't close your pot, because this biryani, you really need to sear everything in the beginning. If you're going to close your pot, it's going to have excess liquid in it. So ultimately, you're going to sear first and then add your liquid. That's why I'm waiting for it to get nice and brown, nice and cooked. If you start seeing like the oil come up on the side, that's really where you want to be. And then now I'm going to add my yogurts. So I'm using Greek yogurt, full cream. Is it full cream? Yes, it's double cream actually. But if you've got full cream, you can go with that. I'm going to add and then see, because I'm not going from the recipe book, so I'm not going to just go from what they say, because it's not the exact amount of meat and not the exact amount of rice. But you just want enough so that you coat the meat. Okay, I think I'm going to add 4 tablespoons. I love Greek yogurt. It's something that lasts in your fridge, as well as it goes with a lot of these styles of cooking. So yeah, I'll get back to you just now after everything cooks down a little bit more, and we'll just continue with the video. So if you noticed, I changed where the pot was. Disclaimer, this is the first time I've used the stove. And I was cooking in the little thing here. Oh my word, no wonder it was taking so long. So you want to cook this on a high heat. And so I moved it to the bigger one. My husband's laughing at me because I made such a rookie mistake. But guys, forgive me. So yeah, it's starting to smell and look good. And then we're going to add some water and then let it cook for about another, say, 15-20 minutes. Actually, before I do that, let me add the potatoes. So I've kept the potatoes whole. Okay, I don't think I can keep the potatoes whole because I've got this little tiny one and this little tiny one, so everything needs to be halved. Let's do that. I like potatoes in the biryani, so I'm adding a little bit extra. And you can add less if you want. You can also add peas or carrots. I actually like adding carrots to Indian food. Gives it a sweet taste and it's a little bit of a healthier alternative. Yes, it's looking great. I'm going to add some water. Add some water in here. Enough to just cover everything. So I just want to cover the potatoes and cover the meat. And then I'm going to close the lid. First stir it up. Let's stir it up. And then I'm going to close the lid. It's looking bland, but trust me, it's going to cook down. It's going to become very flavorful. And then wait and see. So we're at the point now where I've dehydrated most of the masala and meat. So this is like almost cooked. So while this is happening, I rinse my rice, put it on. The one thing I should say, this packet has salt, so please taste before you add more salt. If you do like extra salt, you can add, but if you find that you want to not add the salt, just make sure that you taste this. I'm going to put this off now, and I'm going to, because I don't want this to cook like too much longer, but I also want it to just become a little bit more drier. So you can see it's almost like a curry consistency, and then I just want it to be just a little bit more drier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it off or keep it low. Let's put it really low, and then just let that simmer a little bit and just let some of that moisture out. So here in the rice bit, I've just put the rice to boil. You want it to be almost like 3/4 way done, and then when that's done, I will layer. So yeah, we're almost there. So this is my last phase, which is the layering of the biryani. I have cooked the rice, so it's almost cooked. So if I press here, you can see it's still a little bit hard. It's not completely soft. It's getting very granular. It's not squishy. So this is actually where you want to be, because you don't want your rice to be super soft when you're layering, because you are going to cook even more when you layering. So I'm just going to add the rice here. So bear with me. Okay, so one layer down. Okay, and then curry. Whoa! So we managed to save the rice in time. But I'm just going to add some curry here. I think I need a bigger spoon. a wireless spoon here because I don't want to take a lot of the oil with this. Right, and then I'm going to add some more rice. So it's basically 3 parts, almost like a lasagna. So rice. I'm going to leave enough rice for the top as well. Curry. This is smelling nice. I'm just taking out some of that oil. Potato. Oh, it's smelling so good. You guys have to try this. It's something that is not very hard to do. It does, I mean, if you think about the layering and stuff, you might get intimidated, but it's not really that hard. I mean, in terms of what you're getting out. And I love the fact that this is putting just enough in the pot. I washed my hands before this, so it is clean. Okay, I just don't want to miss any rice. I remember when I was younger, my mom would always tell me, you must make sure that every grain of rice is finished in a pot. It's not good to throw away things. Okay, and so now the last bit. This I can't use my fingers. And you can see I'm not adding oil in here. I'm actually trying to be very like gentle and not take on the oil. Oh yeah, we found one. I just found an apricot. Oh, I love that. So yeah, there's our layer. And then if you thought we forgot about the tomatoes, we didn't. It's just it goes on later. So you add your tomatoes. Just add your tomatoes on here. Okay. I think that's from the dhania. As much as you want. I'm just going to add some more here. And then I'm going to add the mint and the dhania. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually break it up as I'm adding it. Because later on we're going to mix this up. So I've seen other recipes where they've actually at this point. So if you're tasting the curry and you feel like it's not hot, this is a good point, because this is going to cook down even further. Let me just add more mint. I like mint with lamb. And then I'll take this away. I'm going to foil this, and we're going to cook this on low. So if you want to know how long I cooked my rice for, I cooked it for about 8 minutes after it was soaked. It's long grain basmati rice, but like I say, it's better for you to just test by feel. So I mean, everybody might use a different type of rice, so you need to test and feel. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back on the lid so it seals, and I'm going to cook this on low. This is going to go on for low for about, say, 5 to 8 minutes. And then I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to cook it again for another 5 minutes, and then we're done. So just 10 more minutes left. On low. Oh wait, I forgot something. Hold on. For the color, okay, I'm going to add some eggshell powder or yellow food coloring or whatever you have, just for some color. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on. not too much. This is a small biryani, but if you're going to cook for a large amount, you can add more. Just for some nice color, because I love when I'm mixing up the biryani and I see the different colors. So yeah, not a biggie. I just added it now. Go back onto this. Yes. And we are closing up. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to come back for the final result. So we're now 8 minutes in, and now I'm going to take out the foil and give it a stir. Just want to show you guys how it looks. So a nice stir. You don't have to go too rough with it because it is basmati rice, so you don't want to break the rice. See what I'm saying? Go for the coloring. It makes the difference. I'm actually going to bring this a little bit lower. Let's go to 1. But you can see what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to leave it for another 5 minutes after being turned, and then we're going to plate. And so finally, we're ready. Yay! Look at that. Oh, love it. I love it. So I'm just going to dish up a little bit here so that we can do a little taste test. So got some biryani. I'm going to go from the bottom as well just to mix it up. And so I'm just going to add some salad here on the side. I just used the leftover tomatoes that didn't go into the biryani and some of the dhania. And so now for the taste test. Okay, these potatoes, okay, that's done. It's definitely done. Okay, let's go for a little bit of meat and a little bit of potato. And some tomato. I got a bit of tomato here. It's hot, so bear with me. Spicy. Spicy. The color might not indicate it, but yes, pretty spicy. But really good. It's got almost like a tart dry fruit taste as well. A little bit of it in the background. JJ's already at my feet. You want some food? Yeah, it's really good. I like the rice. And I think my favorite part of Sindhi biryani is the actual basmati rice, because it's grainy and it's flaky and it just tastes so good. So I'm really happy that it fitted this little pot. And yeah, try it. Tell me what you think. Don't be afraid to go for the Sindhi biryani box. So yeah, have a good evening. I mean, this video might not come out in the evening, but whenever you see it, please tell me what you think. Tell me if you liked it, and see you next time. Bye.